Hello everyone and welcome to Chess Masterminds. So, in today's video, we are going to see how black can counterattack on white in the King's Gambit. In the previous video, we saw how white can checkmate black in the King's Gambit. So, I would like every viewer to go check out that video. I will give the link in the description. Moving on to this video, this move starts with d6 and then d4. There is another line when bishop moves to c4. We are going to see that after this. When white moves to d4, the major threat is bishop captures f4. So we have to save it because we don't have to lose this strong pawn. Now we move to g5, protecting it. White attacks the pawn, we defend it and also attack the knight. Now moving the knight to g5 must not be a very good idea because any moves like f6 or h6 will simply trap the knight. So the best move will be moving to g1. Why not in front of the queen? Because it will not give queen space to move, and also not to h2 because this will not give the rook to move space. So this is the best move I recommend. After this we can go queen to f6, which attacks the center and also defends our pawn on f4. Now to remove our queen, white has an idea. What he does is that he moves to c3. Now when the knight comes to c3, we move our g knight to e7 so that this place is now covered by the knight, and now the knight on c3 can't come here and remove our queen. So after this, white moves knight g to e2. It acts as an attacker on our f4 pawn. We move to h6, defending it. After the move of h6, white goes for d2 with his queen. After d2, we move our bishop to d2 as well. This is a normal developing move of our bishop. After we move our bishop to d7, the main move is g3. What it does is that it forces the pawn to move. Moving forward from this position is not going to be much tactical, because if you go to f3, the knight will get a beautiful square, and there are pieces which are protecting the square, so it is going to be very difficult to remove the knight from that place. So instead of moving our pawn from here, we are going to simply go c6 with our knight. What it does is that now this knight can't move because it is acting as a defender to this pawn, right? Now we can't move the pawn as well, so we are sacrificing this pawn. After white takes, we castle on the queen side. After castling, now look at this position. This is the best for black. Why is it the best for black? It is the best for black because we can use these 5 pieces, or we can also say the 6 pieces, because once the rooks are doubled up and also the queen, and if any diagonal matches with a queen or a bishop, we can simply counter on the king side and finish the game. So this is a really good opening and you can get a chance to win in this one. Now let's see what will happen if white moves to c4. When white moves to c4, there is no attack coming upon f4, but we know that there is going to be an attack. So what we do is that we move to h6. d4 as expected. Now the bishop is eyeing our pawn. We move to g5. Now white castles, and now we move bishop to g7. Once we move to bishop to g7, what white does is c3. Now what does this move means? This move means that white wants to tear up our king side and finish the game off with targeting our pawn on f7. So here a very nice idea is there, a tactical idea. The idea is bishop to h3. Now here there are two lines. One line is when the rook retreats it. If it retreats, it is not going to be very nice for white, because from this position if we capture, then capture, and then if we move forward, then we can simply move our queen to h4, and then it is going to be really difficult for black to retreat himself. So now the second line. The second line is for white a exchange policy. What happens in this is really nice for black. What white does here is that he captures, we capture the rook, queen captures, queen moves to e7, e5, c6, knight to c3, and castles. So from this position, just look at this position once. What do we not have from this position? Every type of an attack. Just think, when we get this pawn and we attack, now the queen has to be a defender of the king, because if this moves to any space, means the queen can move to any space, right? Now if it moves, then we are going to have a million attacks on the queen and as well as the king. Why on the queen, I said? Because we have both our knights on the board. Now we can use these two knights because the position of black is completely blocked here. So we can use these two knights of ours to fork any two pieces or three or any, whatever. So moving back, this position is going to be really important. From here, what you have to do means, I want to just summarize things, okay? From this position, what black should do? It has to have a look on this pawn. This pawn is a very, very strong piece on the board right now. They have to develop their three minor pieces, and in the previous video we saw that white only has to get these three pieces developed, but black, nope, he needs all its minor pieces here, or else it is going to be real trouble for him. Okay, this is what I wanted to tell in this opening. Hope you liked it, and if you are watching the video till now, I would like to like the video and share it as much as you can. Thank you everyone. We are going to meet in the next video.